I'm Rowena Parsons, and I've got the great pleasure of being able to introduce our speaker in a moment, and just being able to relax and enjoy. I can't see really beautiful faces anymore. So I'm Rowena Parsons. I'm a wellbeing specialist. I'm originally from Parsons North, and that's my real pleasure to live here and raise my family here, and to know many of you through the work that I do. Running 12-week programs and retreats and doing a little bit of speaking. And so tonight is really a chance for you to be equipped with some info that is going to help you to just boost your own health and happiness in your life, to learn how to be fit, healthy and strong for the rest of your life, and to be able to teach that to all of your children, grandchildren, nephews, nieces, and just any other children that you see walking on the street. Yeah, you lunch and smile. We love that. So I've worked in the health and fitness profession for 13 years, and it wasn't until I had been in this profession for around 6 years that I discovered this amazing way to save time and to really fit exercise in and to really fall in love with it in a whole new way. And it was when I went through, first of all, as a student at what is now Max College, which Rowena and her husband Kerry founded, and then later on got the privilege to become one of their, what they call their course coaches, or when I started actually my job title was Presenter of Fun and Laughter, which was a pretty cool job title to have. And so it was all about teaching anatomy and physiology but making it fun and interactive. So don't be at all surprised tonight if you get up out of your chair and you have to sing or dance or move your tush a little. Is that okay? We're okay with that? So everyone's smiling, right? Alright. So without further ado, I'm just going to hand over to Rowena, and she's just going to tell you some amazing things. So this is going to be the next, best half hour of your life. So let's just make you feel very, very, very welcome.
Anybody else that excited? Come on. Here's a question though. Did you tinkle this morning?
Yes.
So we all did, didn't we? It's a human thing to do. So often some people say to me, did you meet such and such, they're really important, or I don't want to go and talk to that person because they're really important. Or my theory is that everybody tinkles in the morning, so everybody's the same as everybody else. Yeah, does that sound good?
Yeah.
So, and we're all special. And I've got this theory for I'd love for you to take away from this evening, because you're going, what is this woman and who is she and what's this going to be about? This is what it's about. You want to be terrific at 20. You want to be 30 and amazing. You want to be 40 and fabulous, 50 and fantastic, 60 and sensational, 70 and super, 80 and awesome, 90 and never giving up, and 100 and happy and healthy. How does that sound? Do you like that?
Yep.
Because a lot of people talk about now, I need to lose a bit of weight to get into my jeans, or I want to go on this body transformation challenge. All the gyms are doing it. We're going to do this 6-week thing. Well, I've got a challenge for you. You ready? You up for the challenge? It's the 120-year challenge. To be healthy, fit and strong, but more importantly, to be happy, healthy, fit and strong, until you run into your grave going, that was the best life I could ever have had. Is like that? Good theory? I don't want you to be 100 and in a retirement village with pipes coming out your nose and rattling because you're full of pills and you just wish you were dead. That's not what that's about. I would really love for the world to be happy, healthy, fit and strong. Now, the interesting thing about happy, most people talk happy, I'll be happy if, or I will be happy when. I would be happy if I could lose some weight. I'd be happy if I had more energy. I'd be happy if I had more money. I'd be happy if I had a better job. I'd be happy if I had a nicer car. I'd be happy if I could go on holidays. How about this? How about be happy now? So that's the first part of this evening. Can everybody please stand up? How do I explain this in real, for me, it's really hard because I've been in the fitness profession since I was 13. I'm obviously not 13 anymore. I'm now 46 years young, and from 13 to 46, the world's gotten fatter and sicker and weaker than it's ever been. So my challenge is that whatever I've been doing hasn't worked. And we're all intelligent people. If you keep doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result, what do they call you? Silly. And I've already got blonde hair, so I've got to watch out for that reputation. So what I'm looking for is the simplest way to get people healthy, fit and strong that's not going to be confusing or intimidating. So So we're going to sing it. You ready? This is the first step to being healthy, fit and strong for the rest of your life. And those of you that like a bit of rap music, you've got to get into it a little bit. So you've got to start tapping your foot first. And it goes like this. Be happy.
Be happy.
Be happy.
Be happy.
Be happy.
Be
Okay,
happy.
we're going to do it 5 times with energy, enthusiasm and passion. Go. Be happy. Be happy. Be happy. Be happy. Be happy. Beautiful. Not complicated. Have a seat. And I'll just quickly, because a couple of you said to me, oh, I got dragged along this evening. I didn't know what this was all about. I've heard about you. I get that. See, when you come to something like this, what most people think is this. They're going to try and sell me something. It's going to be a book or a program or something. Well, guess what? Everything I'm about to give you is for free. It's common sense, it's logical, and you already know it. Oh my God, what do I come for if I already know it? You see, but the difference between what I'm about to share with you and what the rest of the world is talking about is this is simple, logical, common sense, and you can start doing it now. Because when can you be happy?
Yeah.
Right now, you can choose to be. You know, some people say to me, oh, I can't be happy. I hate my job. You know what I say? Well, quit. Oh, I can't quit. Yeah, you can. You're not a tree. A tree gets planted in a spot and cannot uproot itself and go somewhere else. But you are not a tree. If you don't like what you're doing, guess what you can do? Go and do something else. Oh, no, I'm in a really bad relationship. You know what I say? Get a divorce. People go, what? Put it this way. No great relationship has ever ended in divorce. Is that logical? Yeah? So somebody says to me, I'm getting a divorce, you know what I say? That's fantastic. I'm excited for you. Because obviously this was not good for somebody in that relationship and it's time to get out and be happy. Yes? Because people use that as an excuse, I can't be happy, I'm in a poor relationship. I can't be happy, I've got a bad job. I can't be happy because I'm overweight. Well, guess what I say? We'll lose weight. Or choose to be happy. Here's where this little song gets really exciting. You ready? Be happy regardless. Regardless of the weather, regardless of the traffic, regardless of the people in your life. You know, there's groups of people that try and pull you down. Like this goes like this. How are you? Oh, I'm not too bad. I'd be better if, under the circumstances. I say, get out from under those circumstances. This is a choice. The reason it's such an important choice is that most people, when they think about exercise, eating healthy, etc., it's not about being healthy, fit and strong. What's it always about? Losing weight. I've got to lose weight. Okay. So, people go out exercising with this attitude, I have to lose weight, and they exercise like this. Hi, how are you this morning? Leave me alone, I'm losing weight. I'm burning calories. Really? How about this? I'm getting healthy, fit and strong and I feel fantastic. Would you not have a better exercise session? Yes or no? Here's what, I'm sure nobody in this room does this ever. But do you know some people drag themselves out of bed in the morning? Some people have a snooze button on their alarm, so the alarm goes off and then they hit the snooze button. How many times have you hit the snooze button for an extra 5 minutes and felt so much better that you had an extra 5 minutes? Just say no. Never. What about if you just decided from this day forward for the rest of your life that you were never going to drag yourself out of bed ever again, you were going to jump out of bed? See, the human body responds to activity versus which kind of day are you going to have? Do you know what people say to me though? Oh, you know, but sometimes you wake up tired. If you say so. Again, just quickly, who's Googled in the last 5 days? Hands up if you've used the Google process in the last 5 days. Right. I'm going to share with you why it's how it is so easy to be happy. Because people say to me often, Rowena, you can't be happy all the time. That's just ridiculous. Really? So what do you want me to be miserable? That's ridiculous. Why would I be miserable when I could choose to be happy? And here's how it works. Larry and Sergey, who invented the Google process, everyone believes they're very intelligent, and they are. But they didn't come up with the idea all by themselves. They looked at how the human brain works. It's called a conscious brain and a subconscious brain. And they said, okay, the conscious brain is responsible for collecting information and making decisions, and the subconscious brain is responsible for backing up the conscious brain and saying, yes, storing all the files. That's what Google does, stores lots and lots of files. And feeds back the information to the person who typed in the information. That's what the human brain does. So they invented a machine called Google. It goes like this. If I type in rental cars, what will come up? Rental cars. Google's amazing like that, yeah? The human brain does exactly the same thing. If I type in happy, if I write into my own brain, say to my own brain, jump out of bed in the morning and say, I'm happy. I've made a decision. Who typed in the word happy? I've made the decision. And now my files, my endless number of files in my brain, which is many more than Google will ever have, will now feed back to me all the files in my brain that contain the word happy. Every time in my life that I've been happy will now get fed back into my conscious brain while I'm standing in front of the mirror going, I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy. And Google says, yes you are, and here's all the reasons why. When you were a little kid, you went to a birthday party and you were really happy. When you had a really nice piece of chocolate cake, it tasted yummy and you were really happy. When you went on holidays to Queenstown and went skiing, you were really happy. And every file with happy in it comes speeding into your brain. What kind of day are you going to have? Happy day. Now, we're going to just split this group in half, just straight down the middle here. We're going to play a game. Control freaks in the room, like you're on this side. Because this is the control side. This side, you are the subconscious brain. You don't get to make any decisions. All you've got to do is back up what they've decided and feed the information back. You get to make the decision. So you collect the information and make the decision. You guys get to back them up enthusiastically. That's all you get to do. You going to be okay? So this side, we're going to wake up in the morning and we're going to say, I'm happy. Say it, I'm happy.
I'm happy.
All right, say it miserably. Say, I'm happy.
I'm happy.
Yes, you are. And here's all the reasons why. When you were 7, you were happy. And when you were 13, you were happy. And when you were 42, you were happy. And when you eat chocolate cake, you're happy. And when you go to a birthday party, you're happy. And all the files are going to flood back in that are enthusiastic because you don't get to make the decision. You just back up what they've decided. Now, Google doesn't understand emotion, does it? If I type in rental cars, it doesn't say, do you want happy rental cars or sad rental cars? It just hears rental cars and feeds back rental cars, yeah? That's what the human brain does for you too. Whether you, and this is why smiling is so important. Your brain doesn't know the difference between a fake smile and a real one. All it knows is if you smile, just try this. Turn to the person next to you, do this. Exactly. Even if you do, because when somebody does that, you'll laugh. Because you go, that's a fake smile. Okay, so this is very entertaining. Women in the room, men don't get this, but the women will get this. Physiologically, can you go from thin to fat in a 24-hour period? Can you eat enough food to go from thin to fat in a 24-hour period? Just say no, you can't. It's not possible. Renee Zellweger tried it for Bridget Jones' Diary, the movies, and she had to go for months eating excess food to try and put on weight. Okay, now the women in the room, the guys won't get this, women will understand this. You ready? You will look in the mirror one day and you'll say, I look good today. I look mighty fine. 24 hours later, you will look in exactly the same mirror and you will say, I'm fat. Yes or no? See, blokes going, really? Is that how the women's brain works? Okay, so you ready? You're going to type in, say it, I'm fat. Say it.
I'm fat.
Yes, you are. You're really fat. And here's all the reasons why. When you were 3, somebody grabbed hold of your little cheeks and went, you're fat. And when you were 7, you had a boy tease you and he said, you're fat, you're fat, you're fat. And when you were 13, you had a horrible boyfriend who told you were fat. And when you were 18, some nasty girls wrote notes about you and said, oh, she's really fat. And all those files will come flooding into your brain. And guess what you'll now have? It's a phenomenon called the fat day. And how happy are most women on a fat day? Not. But who created it? You did.
What?
Because you typed in fat. So when people say, Rowie, you can't be happy all the time, yes you can, because you get to type in the words. You get to, I don't wake up every morning happy and excited and, wow, I can't wait to live my life today. Sometimes I wake up tired, and sometimes I wake up with a headache, and sometimes I wake up stressed for a bee's willy of time, and that's not very long. Because regardless of how I feel, I would wake up in the morning, doesn't matter what's going on, because I would never type that in, I'm tired, because what will you take? Yes, you are, and here's all the reasons why. How about this, I'm sick. Yes, you are, and here's all the reasons why. I'm stressed. Yes, you are, and here's all the reasons why. And all of a sudden, you're walking around like that. It's really easy. Jump out of bed and say to yourself, I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy. Yeah? And guess what you've just typed in? And guess what your Google brain will now feed you? Thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of files that contain the word happy, and guess what's going to happen?
You're going to be happy.
It's a choice. It's an absolute choice. What I'm asking you to do, please, you cannot go, doesn't, because I've heard this before too, and I'm sure you've seen people. You know that expression, I'll be happy when I'm rich, I'll be happy when I'm thin? Have you not met any rich, thin, unhappy people? Yes or no?
Yes.
Plenty. Plenty of rich people aren't very happy, and plenty of thin people are not very happy. So don't kid yourself that if and when is going to create happy. You get to create happy. And then it's very interesting because when you created it, guess what you start attracting? Unhappy people. So if somebody says to you, how are you? And you say, I'm fantastic, I couldn't be any better. How do you think I am? I live in Palmerston North. There's pretty big trees in the main street. The very best personal trainer in the world is in my town. I love Palmerston North. This is how I are today. Oh, not too bad. It's a bit cold. It's a bit raining. Who wants to hang out with you? No one. Miserable grumpy sod. But you know who does hang out with you? And you deserve it. Other grumpy people. Oh, it can't be. It was much colder and raining at my house than your house. My husband's a bigger pain in the bum than your husband. I'm fatter than you. Downward spiral, downward spiral, downward spiral, pity party. Now everybody in that group is miserable. Yes? What I'm asking you to be is the bright, happy ray of sunshine in your life. Whether you're tall, short, fat, skinny, old, young, doesn't matter. You get to make a choice. Now, everything past that is easy. Because if you go into any stressful situation with a positive attitude, will you handle it better? If you go into a sad situation but you're healthy, fit and strong and happy, will you handle it better? If somebody's giving you a hard time, being nasty to you, bullying you at school, any of those things, but you're healthy, fit and strong and happy, will you handle it better? But the first step's being happy. Because the healthy, fit and strong bit, most people go into with the wrong attitude. If you go into it with the right attitude, now it's different. So, as you go, just do it in your chair, tap your foot 5 times. Be happy, be happy, be happy, be happy, be happy, regardless. And just because I can't help myself, there's a couple of quick tips on this one. It doesn't rain, there's free water coming out of the sky. When you hear the weather report, it's not a partly cloudy day, it's partly sunny. Yes or no? So when you hear that on the news, you're just going to say to yourself, no, Mr. News Reporter, it's partly sunny today. There's not traffic, it's just cars on the road. If you woke up in the morning and there was no cars on the road, you'd be a bit disturbed, wouldn't you? Where's all the people? Doesn't matter what happens, you can choose to look at things differently. Okay, some of you have heard this before. We have to stand up again. Because this is the ultimate system for being happy. Ready? So the first one is you jump out of bed in the morning and you just sing, be happy, be happy, be happy, be happy. It's easy, yeah? The next one is, doesn't matter which day it is, there's a system for each day. So the goal in my life is to positively change the health and fitness of the world, one person at a time, from the inside and the outside, and to raise the professional standards of my profession so that people take us seriously, that we actually know what we're talking about. You can understand why I love Lauren so much, because she's so professional. So the other goal is to positively change the names of the days of the week. Because a couple of days ago, there was a real challenge with the name of the day of the week. Because what was it? See, even the way you say that. And people live, you know, people talk about work-life balance. 5 days miserable, 2 days yay is not balance. Exactly. So the goal is to get rid of the, and if you take the day away, because everyone ends in day, 7, they all end in day. And we've got mun, choose, wed, thurs, fry, sat, sun. Boring. Particularly the mun, because everybody hates it. So, magical day. Terrific day. Wow day. And before we even sing it, you've got to write it with your whole body. You should see some of your faces. It's like you ready with your whole body? See, naked in the mirror in the morning, that's really good fun, especially for the blokes, because there's some dangly bits and it's like, the visuals in the room are going, yes, that's a great picture. So we've got Magical Day, Terrific Day, Wow Day, Thankful Day. This is a really important day. Because have we got lots of things to be thankful for? Yeah. For the women in the room, be really thankful that tomorrow morning you're not going to wake up in Afghanistan, for instance. Being a woman in Afghanistan, not so cool. Being a woman in New Zealand, pretty cool. Yeah? Good reason to be thankful. I've only just recently become involved with a lady who went flying fox playing with her kids. She had an accident, she's now in a wheelchair. While she was going into her surgery, her husband divorced her. Nice guy. He's revealed himself as an ass. However, to her absolute credit, 2 things together, better than trying to spread them out over a long period of time. So now I have to deal with these 2 things at once rather than spreading them out of gratitude. Yeah? When you wake up tomorrow morning, do not look in the mirror. Do not look in the mirror and say, look at my fat legs. Or my ugly legs, or wish my legs were longer, or wish my legs were smaller, or whatever it is that you do. Here's what you say: I'm thankful for my legs. Ladies, you look in the mirror, those wrinkles, you go, look at my wrinkles. How's your day going now? Look at my wrinkles. How do you feel, old or young? Yeah? How about this? I can see my face. Yeah. Imagine trying to put your makeup on if you were blind. So what are you thankful for? You're thankful for the free water coming out of the sky. How about this? I'm thankful for the miserable people in my life because they make me realise how happy I am. Yes, so thankful day, fun day, super day, spelt with a minimum of 7 O's. For the school teachers in the room, I do not apologise. Super is not a U word, it's at least 7 O's. So you say like this: super. How's it go? Super. And sparkle day, Sunday. Alrighty? So, how many of you have ever sung into a hairbrush? Hands up. A couple of people happy to admit that. More people sung in the shower. Awesome. How about in the car? Before you sit down, I have to share this story with you. It's very, very, very funny. A girl came to one of my sessions just recently. She said to me, Rowie, the biggest thing I got out of the session tonight was I stopped singing in the car. Because I was singing in the car one day next to some people, and these people looked at me and said, get over yourself, lady, and stop singing in your car. And she stopped. But because she came to a night like this, she started singing in her car again. Yes, that's good for me. That's very exciting. All right, so it goes like this. May your Mondays be magical, may your Tuesdays be terrific, may your Wednesdays be very wow, and your Thursdays be thankful, may your Fridays be a fun day, may your Saturdays be super, may your Sundays be sparkly, because you choose them to be. Do you like that song? Do you want to help me change the names of days of the week? I want on our calendar that there's no longer a Monday, it's just called Magical Day. So we're all going to sing into our hairbrush now. Are you ready? 4, 3, 2, 1. May your Mondays be magical, may your Tuesdays be terrific, may your Wednesdays be very wow, and your Thursdays be thankful, may your Fridays be a fun day, may your Saturdays be super. May your Sundays be sparkling, because you choose them to be. How good is that? So here's the challenge. Sometimes people ask me, you're an Australian, but you live in New Zealand. What's that all about? Particularly because I did live on the Gold Coast. And the Gold Coast has got like a few 100,000 New Zealanders now. And the reason I know that because the supermarket that I used to shop in now has 2 aisles of New Zealand products, which means that there's a lot of New Zealanders living there. I love New Zealand, beautiful country. Here's the main reason I'm here. Per capita, New Zealand has the highest rate of type 2 diabetes in the world. Now the beautiful thing about per capita statistics is that if you can lower them or you increase them, per capita it doesn't matter what size the country is as long as you can change the challenge. So where do you start? Where do you start fixing such a big challenge? Here's the second challenge. Coronary heart disease is the biggest killer in the world today. However, the type 2 diabetes people and the coronary heart disease people, they're having an argument right now who can kill the most people. The coronary heart disease people saying, no, we do. And the diabetes people saying, no, we do. It's not a fun argument. The reason I know that, I've been to medical conferences where they are robustly discussing not how to get rid of it, not how to prevent it, how to control it. It's now called, those two diseases are now called a pandemic, which means out of control. We don't know how to fix it. But in this room today we do, because it's common sense and logic. First of all, if you go to the doctor and the doctor says to you, you now need to take some kind of cholesterol beating pill because you've got the signs of coronary heart disease, and you need to take a type 2 diabetes pill because your sugar levels are too high, you've got a precursor to type 2 diabetes. Guess what else comes with that pill prescription? They don't just give you 2 pills anymore. Because, No. The challenge is that when the doctor says to you, you've got signs of coronary heart disease and you've got the signs of type 2 diabetes, do you walk out of the office and go, I'm happy, I'm happy? Now I need an antidepressant as well. Which for me is the biggest killer. Because depression means you're not happy. And to have to take a pill for that. I go to schools now where I have to speak for Mental Health Week for teenagers. And I said to a school teacher, the head of the department, why am I here for Mental Health Week? These kids are like 14. She said to me, Rowie, in my school, 50% of these children are on antidepressants. That's my life experience. You should see these kids' faces when we stand up and say, be happy, regardless. No one's ever taught them that. Because the doctor said, you're depressed, take a pill. The doctor didn't say, choose to be happy. So then comes this small challenge, I'm depressed. So what a lot of people do when they're depressed or unhappy, what do? Drink food. And then if I drink too much and I eat too much, I end up at the doctor's and she tells me I've got type 2 diabetes or coronary heart disease. And it used to be, type 2 diabetes used to be called age-onset diabetes. It's not called that anymore. Because we've got kids in South Auckland who have got type 2 diabetes and they're 12. Can you see why we have to do something different? This is not working anymore. So this simple message, you ready? The next one is so simple and so beautiful and so easy. You do have to sing it though. You can stay sitting, but you have to sing it. It goes like this. Drink more water till you've got clear wheeze. Drink more water till you've got clear wheeze. This is my glass of water here. Ready? Drink more water till you've got clear wheeze. Drink more water till you've got clear wheeze. And drink more water till you've got clear wheeze. You can't help but tap your foot, can you? And what's really cool is kids love to hear that because they think it's like a bit rude to talk about wheeze. Everybody tinkles in the morning. Didn't I just start with that? Kids start singing that. This is how it's paid off. You ready? I'm in a supermarket, the Coles supermarket in Chevron Renaissance in the Gold Coast, and a gentleman with silver, beautiful hair like yours taps me on the shoulder, says, excuse me, madam, I've got long clear wheeze because of you. A complete stranger. I said, really? That's fantastic. Tell me about that. He said, you came to my son's school and you talked about the importance of having long, clear wheeze. We now have a gold star chart in our house. Everyone's name's on it. If you have a long, clear wheeze, you get a gold chart, and I'm leading the pack. So why is that important? See, most health and fitness books, health and nutrition books, will talk about food and will talk about exercise, yes? However, your brain cells are 90% fluid. Here is a dehydrated brain cell. It's like a sultana. Not very attractive. When you compare a sultana to a grape, a sultana is pretty ugly, isn't it? It's got no fluid in it. Your brain cells should look like grapes. What does your brain control, just quickly? Everything you do is controlled by your brain, and your brain cells are 90% fluid. So if you're dehydrated, what might be happening? Your brain doesn't work. So first we're going to have a headache. You know, but we don't say have a glass of water, do we? Say take 2 pills and some water. How about take 2 glasses of water? If you want to have great skin, every beautician on the planet will say drink more water. The challenge we've got though is that my profession has made water drinking really complicated. Because if I said to you tonight, how much water do you need to drink? What would be the common answer? 6 to 8 glasses or 2 litres a day. Have a look around the room. Is everybody the same size? No. How much do you weigh, sweetheart? Do you know? No? She's little, yeah? And you're a big guy. How possibly could you think that this little person and this big guy need exactly the same amount of water? And I'd reckon activity levels might be different. Some people sit at a desk all day and do nothing, and some people have a completely active lifestyle and they're moving around all the time. You need to, when you move more, you need to drink more fluid because your brain has to get the rest of your body functioning, which means your brain has to be working, so you're going to be dehydrated. Does that make sense? So, here's the simple, and here's the worst part for me. If somebody doesn't like to drink water, and I speak to the last group was a group of accountants, and they were all men. We're talking about fluid, and one guy puts his hand up and he goes, I don't drink water. Do you know what fish do in water? Now, if I said to him, you have to drink 2 litres of water every day, what's he going to say? No. It's never going to happen. So, with kids and with accountants, same mentality. Drink more water till you've got clear wheeze. Drink more water till you've got clear wheeze. If you tinkle and it's yellow, guess what you need to do? Drink some more stuff. And the thing here is so cool. It's not about water even. It's just about more fluid. Because there's so much confusion about what's good fluid and what's not good fluid. Now, I'm not here to be controversial. The kids have got to have fluid. And if they're not drinking water, they can't drink nothing. You have to find some kind of compromise here so that we're getting our kids to drink something. Because a little child that's got yellow tinkle is not going to function very well in school. Now, here's what most people do. Go out for dinner, oh, I don't want to drink water, that's boring, we better have Coke. So what do kids pick up on? Water's boring. See, that's a bad attitude, isn't it? Water? Free water out of the sky? That's fantastic, let's have some water. Is it an adult way to inspire children to drink more water, yes or no? But we tend not to do that. But see, we are the leaders in our community. If we don't do it, what's going to happen to our kids? Here's the turning point. The world is fatter and sicker and weaker than it's ever been. Coronary heart disease is at killer levels, pandemic level. Type 2 diabetes. Obesity. Kids were never obese, never. Now half of our kids are obese. Half are obese. We have to do something different. We can't keep doing the same thing over and over because it isn't working. So we don't talk about 2 litres of water anymore. We just say, have a tinkle, and if it's yellow, have a drink. Sorry, the guys would turn around this way. Have a look. If it's yellow. Now, long's good too. Because there's a lot of people say, look, if I drink more fluid, I tinkle more often. Now, that's not true. It takes your body a bit to adapt, a couple of days. And initially you'll think you'll be thinking, I'm going to the bathroom all the time. You get excited because I think I can sit down. Guys can sit down too, by the way. I have heard that. You don't have to stand up and tickle. So you get to have a sit down and you get to think about how fantastic life is. But the bladder adapts, it stretches, and then you just do big tinkles when you go, once or twice a day. It just takes a little bit of adapting time. See, not that hard. So, how's it go? Drink more water till you've got clear wheeze. Drink more water till you've got clear wheeze. And drink more water till you've got clear wheeze. All right, number 3. Because there's only 5 tips, and they're for free. Does that sound good? Anything complicated so far? This one's very important you do it in your chair, even though it's part of the song, you have to do it in your chair. But this is also a bit of a rap song. It goes like this. You've got to do it with passion and enthusiasm. Eat more fruit and vegetables. Eat more fruit and vegetables. Eat more fruit and vegetables. And get your little bottom moving around your chair. Ready? Go. Eat more fruit and vegetables. Eat more fruit and vegetables. Eat more fruit and vegetables. Eat more fruit and should sing more often. Now, there's 3 reasons why you've got to eat more fruit and vegetables, but you know them already, don't you? Because you've heard that before, haven't you? Not one, this is not arguable, there's not one expert in health and fitness and wellness on this planet will say to you, eat more takeaway food out of the bag or out of the shop that's got colours on it. Do they? No one. No one's going to argue about this. But there's 3 reasons we've got to eat more fruit and vegetables. Number 1 is because you've got to poo every day. Twice is better. So do we have any legends in the room who've had 2 poos today that have slid out easily? That's the important bit. You can't be sitting down and straining about it. You have to. It's just got to go woot. How's it go? Woot. Next time you do that, you go I believe. Woot. That means you're getting enough fibre. And I always have a giggle because people talk about detox diets, and then I know this is a controversial area, but the human body's very clever. It detoxes itself every day. It's called poos and wheeze. Because what is that coming out of your body? It's not stuff that you ever want to drink and eat ever again, is it? It's waste, yes? That's detox all by itself. If you are trying to detox, here's toxic. I had a personal training client, his name was Matt, and I always ask this question, as you should of your kids and everybody else in your life, have you pooed today? And Matt said to me, no, I poo on Sundays. Special days. I said, I beg your pardon? He said, I go into the bathroom with the newspaper and hope something comes out. His father died of a heart attack at 45. Colon cancer is the biggest killer of men, cancer killer of men in the world. Because if it doesn't slide out easily, it gets caught up inside and gets toxic. Yeah? So if you want to detoxify, poo. It's easy. Kids love it when you talk about poo. Today at school I went like this. Oh! And I thought, isn't that sad that kids are going, oh, about something that's so natural and so important. Now, if everything's sliding out easily and all the junk's coming out, those of you who want to have a flat stomach, if you don't poo regularly, what will happen to your stomach? You'll never ever be flat, it will always be bloated. And how will you feel? You'll feel yuck, you'll feel ordinary. So, it's pretty easy. You've got to eat more fruit and vegetables so you poo. Number 2, energy, enthusiasm, vitality, great hair, great skin, great fingernails. Comes from vitamins, minerals and phytochemicals. Where do they come from? They do not come out of a plastic pill with powder inside. That is not where they come from, because it's the combination of the skin and the fibre and the vitamins and the minerals all together in this fantastic package called real food. Remember that stuff? All of those things create a healthy well-being. And yet it's so fascinating how, and this is my saddest story for my profession. I recently spoke in a South Auckland school where I spoke to children who had never seen a vegetable. To them, a vegetable was a green piece of stuff that comes on a Big Mac, and guess what they do with it anyway? Throw it away. Please do not kid yourself. If you're living in a healthy household that eats fruit and vegetables, that is not how the world is living right now. But see, what's our attitude? Most of our attitude towards vegetables. Oh, I don't like vegetables. How about this? I love vegetables. They're fantastic. Find one you like, and if you don't like one, eat the one you like you hate the least. That isn't a deep fried potato. It's logical, yes or no? So, the third part of eating fruit and vegetables is they're good for you. There's lots of food in the world. How do I put this really simply? Because food's complicated. You know, exercise is not so complicated because most people don't like to do it. So if you can give them something that's fun, they do it. But everybody eats food. So you've got to be really careful when you talk about food because it's quite a controversial topic. Here's the logic behind food. Let's say you're going shopping. People say to me, Rowie, when I go to the supermarket, how do I read the labels and stuff when I go to the supermarket? How do I do that? How about this? Eat less food with labels. Less things that come in a bag, less things that come in a packet, less things that come in a can, less things that are packaged up. Because if it's been packaged up, somebody's had to play with it, they've had to process it, they've had to do something with it. Now I'm generalising, but ultimately, how about this? If you ate 3/4 of what you eat comes out of the ground and still looks like it came out of the ground. See, it's something like bread, for instance. There's a big controversy about bread, but all bread's not the same. Some bread, when you read the label, you don't even know what that is because it's just numbers. But other bread, if you eat it, it feels like you're eating chook food. Chooks have got it. Have you noticed chooks poo really easily? No challenge. Because they eat lots of stuff that comes out of the ground. So the food thing, I want to keep it really simple because it is very controversial. If you ate 3/4 of what you eat comes out of the ground and looks like it came out of the ground, 1/4 from other stuff. What's the other stuff? Whatever you want. Because if 3/4 of what you're eating comes out of the ground, first of all, will you be full? Because all those foods make you feel full. For instance, if I give you, let's pick a whole grain bread roll that's full of seeds and stuff that looks like it's chook food still, versus a white bread roll that's got heaps of sugar in it. How many of these could you eat? Could you eat 5 of those heavy stone ground wholemeal rolls? You'd feel really full, wouldn't you? But you could eat 5 of those donutty things really easy because they don't make you feel full. It's the beautiful thing about real food, it actually fills you up. And then here comes the great news about food. There's 2 reasons to eat. One's for performance, so you feel fantastic and you've got heaps of energy and you poo regularly and you've got great skin and great nails. But the second reason you eat is for pleasure. Because food's a pleasurable experience. For some of us, it's a very pleasurable experience. But if 3/4 of what you eat comes out of the ground, then 1/4 is easy. Let me put a different terminology. There's no good or bad foods. The reason why this is so important, please, is that our little girls are learning at this age here that if you eat too much and get fat, that's bad. And if you eat a bad food, what kind of person would you be? A bad person. This is dangerous. I had one of the students at my college, is so funny. We were talking about good and bad foods, and when I go to schools, usually I take vegetables with me, and that's why I knew to South Auckland kids didn't know what a vegetable was because they'd asked me what it was. So if I take chips, for instance, and broccoli, and I say to the kids, which is good or bad food? The chips, they say, is a bad food, or the chocolate is a bad food, and the broccoli, they say, is a good food. Here's a challenge. One of my students in my Brisbane college, he took it on as a challenge, this young man, and he ate 3 kilograms of broccoli in one sitting. He said he passed wind very smelly for a very long time. He was very bloated for a very long time, and he didn't feel good for a very long time. But broccoli's a good food, isn't it? Not in 3 kilo lots, it isn't. Chocolate's a fantastic food, but not in 3 kilo lots, it isn't. Can you see the difference? It's not the food that's the challenge, it's the amount that's the challenge. And if you eat with logic and common sense, you'll say, oh, I've got to eat the whole packet. Why? If there was a whole packet of paprika in your cupboard, would you eat the whole packet? I have to eat the whole packet. Because you don't. You just have enough. Paprika is just a little bit of a sprinkle. Oh, look, I've got a packet of wheat bix in the cupboard. I want to eat that. No, you don't. You just have 3 or 4 for breakfast and that's logical, yes or no? Yes. Biscuits are the same, chocolate's the same, everything's the same. You just eat a little bit and enjoy it. And that's what I'm asking you tonight. Please don't take the pleasure out of food. Yes, you eat for performance and to feel fantastic, but please don't take the pleasure out of your food. Really enjoy it. And if you're doing 3/4, 1/4, let's put that into perspective. I've got a plate, 3/4 come out of the ground, 1/4 comes from meat or chips or whatever that you want. I don't care what it is. You're going to enjoy it, pleasure and performance. What about if for a whole month, everything you ate, 3/4 out of the ground, 1/4 from other stuff, a whole month? Would you poo every day? Would you get plenty of vitamins and minerals? Yes. What about a whole lifetime of that? You're 100 and all you've ever done is 3/4 out of the ground and 1/4 from other stuff. Here you are at 100 and happy and healthy. It's not very complicated, is it? Pick your favourite food. that you absolutely love to eat and never take it out of your eating plan. Because if I say to you, can't have, mustn't have, don't have, shouldn't have, if I say that to a child, you don't do that, what's going on now? Why? And what are they thinking about? Can't have that. Now what do they want? We're just grown children. And that's what we've done with food and dieting, isn't it? We've said you can't have, you mustn't have, you shouldn't have, and don't have. And then we think, I say to a woman, you can't have any chocolate. All right, I'm going to lose weight, so I won't have any chocolate. Magical day, no chocolate. Terrific day, no chocolate. Wow day, no chocolate. Thankful day, no chocolate. Fun day, Friday, no chocolate. What happens on super day? The whole packet. And is that logical? If you look at it from pure calories and fat point of view, if I had a little bit on magical day, a little bit on terrific day, a little bit on wow day versus the whole packet on super day, which one's more challenging? The whole packet at once, which is not logical. I'm trying to put the logic back into food so that it's sensible and logical. Do you like that? It's easy, isn't it? So what are we going to do? Eat more fruit and vegetables, eat more fruit and vegetables, eat more fruit and vegetables, and be excited about it! Wow. Okay. Next one. 4 times you've got to do this. Be excited and puff. The guys in the room know how to do this. Somebody just tapped out from the side and said, I think it's only 2 minutes, not 4. So 4 minutes. Is that a very long time out of 24 hours? I've pulled 4 minutes out of nowhere. There's no research to back this up whatsoever. None. Why have I picked 4 minutes as the best form of huffy-puffy exercise? Notice I didn't say cardiovascular exercise. Like we use these ridiculously big words. Huffy-puffy exercise. 4 minutes. Those of you who are fit, healthy and strong going, you can't do 4 minutes of exercise every day and get fit. That's never going to work. Well, first of all, those of you that are really fit and healthy and you love to exercise for hours and hours and you look amazing, congratulations. But I think you are ruining it, screwing it up for the rest of the world. There's a controversial thing to say. Because someone looks really good. You see them in a magazine or something and you say, and then you get to meet them, you say, wow, you look amazing. Why do you look so good? And see, that's a compliment for the person that you asked, isn't it? So they tell you, I look so amazing because, and they would never say that, but you know, sort of puff up a little bit and say, yes, I do, don't I? I go to the gym 3 times a week and I run 10 kilometres 3 times a week and I lift weights and I run triathlons and I'm very fit and strong and I look amazing. For the average person, what is 3 times a week at the gym, run 10 kilometres 3 times a week, lift weights every day? What is that for the average person? Fanatical. Lunatic. And I like the word impossible. And the reason we know that is because the world's fatter and sicker and weaker than it's ever been. So where the hell is this woman pulled for that 4 minutes a day from? Hands up if you brush your teeth. Everybody needs to put their hand up. This is 100% buy-in on this one. Everybody brushes their teeth. Yes, we all do. Why do we brush our teeth? What happens if you don't brush your teeth? They're dirty, you get decay, nobody wants to kiss you, you got bad breath, it's yucky. How do you feel if you don't brush your teeth? How do you feel if you don't brush your teeth for like 3 days? No one should know the answer. There should be an answer. And we do it to look after this tiny part of our body. And when did we learn that we needed to look after that tiny part of our body? When you got 1 tooth, it was time to start brushing your teeth, wasn't it? Well, if I had a skeleton here today, all skeletons have teeth because your teeth are part of what? Your skeletal system. We spend, the Dental Association would suggest 2 minutes in the morning and 2 minutes at night, which is how many minutes? 4 minutes to look after this part of your body, because if you don't brush your teeth, you feel terrible, yes? You know, there's some people who they haven't gone 3 days without exercise, they've gone 3 months, even 3 years. And they wonder why they don't feel so good. Because their teeth / their muscles and their bones are rotting away. And I don't apologise for that terminology. That is exactly what's happening inside their body. The same as your teeth would rot if you didn't look after them. The rest of your body is rotting inside if you don't do something to keep it active and strong. But this 30 minutes a day, 1 hour classes at the gym, hours and hours of exercise, it doesn't work. Do you know why? Because I used to say to people when I was running health clubs, you have to do 30 minutes of cardiovascular exercise or don't bother. Guess what? Don't bother. And consequently, the world is fatter and sicker weaker than it's ever been, because if you are not fit, how long is 30 minutes of exercise? Might as well be 3 hours. A lady today, she said, that's like 5 hours for me. It's too long. When you're in a hurry, 30 minutes goes quickly. But when you're exercising, 30 minutes goes really, really slowly. Now I'm going to say something really controversial, I think. So LSD, it's long, slow distance exercise, makes you fat. Because I'm now going for an hour walk. It's a long time, an hour, isn't it? How's my attitude? I'm pacing myself because I've got to go for an hour. I'm thinking, you know, I really should go for 2 because I've really got a lot of weight to lose. And you're hating it. But after you've done an hour of exercise, wow, I've done an hour of exercise. I deserve a little reward. Now, there's a challenge with the reward. So we just do the pure numbers. If you were to walk long, slow distance for an hour, first of all, you're pacing yourself because you're going for an hour. You burn maybe, if you're lucky, depending on your body size, but around about 250, maybe 300 calories, if you're lucky. If you're going long, slow distance, you're not really getting fitter because you're not puffing. You only get fit when you puff. And you get back and you've burnt your 250 or 300 calories and you say, oh, my little reward, I might have a muffin. 400 in, 300 burnt. What's happened now? My exercise has made me fatter. Now, that's easy for me to talk that. I was at a women's business breakfast 1 or 2 weeks ago, in Brisbane, and the mayor's wife was sitting right there. Before I even started talking, I said, how are you? And she said, oh, you're that exercise lady. She said, exercise has been making me fat. I haven't even opened my mouth yet. And she said, I've started that walking stuff. I've put on weight since I started walking. Because after they go walking, guess what they do, the ladies walking group? They go out for coffee and a cake. Burn 300, put 400 in, exercise made you fat. Here's the key to exercise. You ready? It's so exciting. It's not a secret weapon of any kind. It's just called this. Fit people burn fat faster. To get fit, you've got to puff. I'm going to say that again if you're taking notes, it's very important. Fit people burn fat faster. To get fit, you've got to puff. It's called huffy puffy. Yes? Now, how long does it take you to get puffed? 10 seconds? Sprinting, the fastest guys in the world, and just as a quick side note to that, have a look at the sprinters' bodies versus the walkers' bodies. Have a look at people that go running versus people that go walking. We've got tight and hard versus squidgy. Interesting take note. But those sprinters, how long are they running for? 10 seconds, 20 seconds, as fast as they possibly can. Now, if you've got to do an exercise program for 20 seconds, how much effort will you put in compared to an hour? You'll put your heart and soul into it. And where do results come from? Heart and soul, or pacing yourself because you're having a really boring time? And then you've got to reward yourself afterwards. Now, the reason I've picked 4, and it's not 4 in a row, but imagine this. Imagine if we could get the whole world, because we're up to step 4 now, imagine this, if we get the whole world to just be happy, drink more water till you've got clear wheeze, drink more water till you've got clear wheeze, eat more fruit and vegetables, 3/4 of what you eat out of the ground, 1/4 other stuff. And we've got the whole world to spend as much time on their heart as they did on their teeth. But not even 4 minutes in a row. I'm talking 1 minute in the morning, 30 seconds in the morning, 30 seconds at morning tea, 30 seconds at lunchtime, 30 seconds at afternoon tea. Because could you work hard enough, pace yourself, get your mindset sorted for 30 seconds? The beautiful thing too about exercise, what's one of the excuses that people use about exercise? I can't exercise, it's too cold. In about 3 months, what will it be? Too hot. Now, the beautiful thing about when you're cold and you do 30 seconds of exercise, guess what? You'll get warm. if it's hot, if you have to go for an hour, you'll get really hot. But if you're just going to go for 30 seconds, it won't be so bad. You'll be able to cope for 30 seconds. But the key is to get puffed. Doesn't matter what you do. Boxing, skipping, run up and down your hallway, run up and down your driveway, do dancing with your kids. Just get puffed. For most people, just got to lift your knees 30 times and get puffed. And some of you are thinking, yes, but you need to do more than that. Hang on a minute. Don't knock it till you've tried it. If we could get the whole world, remember we're fatter and sicker and weaker than we've ever been, the 1 hour of classes doesn't work. The people that get addicted to it love it. But you know, here's the funny statistic on this. 10% of people, they say, have a gym membership. In the Western world, on average, 10% of people have a gym membership. Does that mean that they use it? The people go, yeah, I've got one, but I don't use it. I met it was at an event one night, and the guy had a key ring from a health club. And I said, oh, wow, look, you must go to that gym. And he said, well, I'm a member there. I said, so what do you do? And he goes, no, this is just good for picking up chicks. But see, he's in that statistical group that says he's a member at a gym, so he must be in that 10% group. Now, those people, I'm not here, I don't care. Oh, look, I really don't care about that group. Because they're already addicted, they love it, and they're going to keep going forever, aren't they? They are not the ones suffering from coronary heart disease, type 2 diabetes, osteoporosis, depression, arthritis. They don't have all of that stuff going. The general public, the 90% of people that don't do any exercise because they hate it, is what the group that I'm chatting to tonight. What if you just planned, doesn't matter how young or old you are, just from now on, from this day forward, and by the way, you could never use an excuse, I've got no time to exercise, could you? Because you never say to yourself, it's too hot to brush my teeth, I can't be bothered. Oh, I'm too busy to brush my teeth, I'll just go to bed and not brush my teeth. The people that are going to the gym, they love it. That's fantastic. I want the rest of the world to get active. And the beautiful thing about this product called fitness is that once your heart gets huffy puffed and it starts getting fit, what happens to your energy levels? So you feel good, yeah? So instead of walking around like this, you end up walking faster. When you're cleaning your house, instead of going, I'm not going to do that, you start vacuuming faster. I've got to mow the lawn. Versus, I'm excited about it. So when you're fit, every other part of your life, the other 23 hours and 56 minutes, you are more active because you feel better. So what happens to your overall calorie consumption and overall everything that's going on in your life? Everything improves. I had a girlfriend only yesterday, the day before, I think it was the day before. She's got 3 kids, single mum, busy. She said, Rowie, my plan was to get up and do my regular exercise this morning. She said, but I've been listening to you. She said, unfortunately, I slept through the alarm. And what do most people do if there's planned an exercise session and they've slept through the alarm? What happens now? No exercise today. She said, but I've set up my cross trainer in my bedroom. She said, I had to get up. I jumped out of bed. I got on the cross trainer 1 minute flat out. As fast as I could go. She said, then I had a shower and got ready. She said, but I reckon I felt better after 1 minute of fast, huffy, puffy than going for an hour of exercise. Because I did something that added value. And when I say that, I'm not saying that 1 hour doesn't add value. But when you put an effort into something versus half an effort, how do you feel? A full 100% effort, let's give it a good go. Now, please, this is going to sound incredibly hypocritical, but just bear with me. Once a year, I go for a trot somewhere for 42.2 kilometres. I like to have a look around. But for me, that 42.2 kilometres, it's 42 kilometres of warm-up and a 200-metre sprint. Because the first bit I don't enjoy at all. I just do it for mental toughness. But the last bit, where does that energy come from? Because I'm nearly finished. If you exercise all the time like you're nearly finished, you'll put a lot of effort into it. And if you go out for 30 minutes, you don't put a lot of effort into it because you're not nearly finished, you've got 30 minutes to go. Does that sound exciting? Just say, Rowie, I'm so excited, I just wish I could get up and exercise now. Last but not least, it's 5 points. What's the first one? Be happy, be happy. Number 2, drink more water, you've got 3 words. Number 3, eat more fruit and vegetables, eat more fruit and vegetables, eat more fruit and vegetables. This one's got no words, what are you going to do? 4 times. All right, last but not least, there's healthy, fit and strong. Healthy comes from eating good fuel. Fit comes from huffy puffy. Strong. Muscles, bones, deteriorate with age. Everybody in this room is older than when you arrived. Does that sound exciting? I'm so excited I'm older. Chronologically older, but you do not have to get older. Your muscles and bones, there's nothing to say that your muscles and bones have to age. You allow them to age, you choose to let them age, but they do not have to age. The reason I know that, I'm going to give you two beautiful examples. In Toronto, Canada last year, a gentleman at the age of 100 ran a marathon, 42.2 kilometres. 100, not the best part of that story. 5 people he beat. He didn't come last. 5 people had to go home and say to their family, I ran a marathon today, but a 100-year-old man beat me. I think that's pretty cool. I like to snow ski. We went to Whistler one year. It was Christmas Day. First ski run of the day. I didn't know that they had done this, but at the end of the day, there was a more mature couple. When I say more mature, he was like 85 and she was 86. That's pretty old, yeah. They had skied, if you've ever skied Whistler, it's got the longest runs in the world. They had been skiing from the first lift in the morning, and this was the last lift of the day, and it was Christmas, and they had been skiing all day, double black runs, double diamond black runs, 85 and 86. Yeah, you can't do that if you're full of arthritis and you're full of oldness. They didn't allow themselves to get old. You don't have to get old. The reason you get old is because you stop moving, and the reason we stop moving is people say, oh, you're old, you should stop moving. Yes or no? Here's the challenge. My mother, 74, osteoporosis. The orthopaedic surgeon said advanced osteoporosis. That means your bones are so weak that if you trip over, they will break. But advanced osteoporosis is even worse than that. The challenge is that your neck of femur breaks and then you fall over. Your bones are so brittle they break inside your own body. So my mother comes home, my own mother comes home with this piece of paper. Now, of course, she doesn't listen to me because I'm her daughter, but very privileged, my husband has a master's degree in exercise science. And we both look at each other like disgusted in ourselves that we're out changing the world, but here's my own mother with advanced osteoporosis. So she starts lifting heavy things. Now, this is a very important terminology. We didn't send her to the gym to lift weights. She just had to lift heavy things. The reason that men have less cases of osteoporosis than women, just quickly, 1 in 3 women get osteoporosis. When I started in the fitness profession, it was 1 in 3 women over the age of 60. Now it's 1 in 3 women, still the same number, over the age of 45. Now when I started in the fitness profession, I'm 13, 45's old, but I'm 46 now. In my age category, 1 in 3 women get osteoporosis. They don't know that they've got it. They don't know until they trip over and their bones are broken. Or their bones break and they fall over. They go and get a bone mineral density test and the doctor says, Mrs. Cesar and my mother, you've got advanced osteoporosis. Take a pill and here's a walking frame. Don't do anything anymore because you've got osteoporosis. How's your life going now? You may as well be dead. So my husband says, no, we're just going to lift the heaviest thing in your life, which is what, for most people? Your own body. See, as you get older, you stop lifting your own body because people help you, don't they? We help old ladies across the road. Here's a great terminology to take away from today. There's no old, just gold. Add a G to the beginning of old. I'm gold. I'm the most precious metal in the world. I'm gold. And I get more precious as I get golder. Because you don't have to get old, just get golder. So she starts lifting her own body weight instead of, as old people do, push themselves out of the chair. Sit down, stand up. Sit down, stand up. My 74-year-old mother now is lifting her own body weight. One of the other exercises she was given straight away was to stand on one leg, which is about balance, yeah? Now, the interesting thing is as you get older, because you allow yourself to get old, the muscle fibres that waste the first, and go back one step. If I wrap your arm up in a plastic cast for a week and we take the plastic cast off, what's happened to your arm? It's wasted away. The muscles have wasted away. When the muscles are no longer pulling on the bones, now the bones are also wasting away because bones stay strong when the muscles are pulling on the bones of the origin and insertion. So most people, by the way, are living no different than somebody in hospital because they lie in bed, get up and sit at the breakfast table, sit in the car, sit at their office desk, sit in the car, sit on the lounge, go to bed. You may as well be in hospital. Because the speed at which you're moving and the activity level that you have is low. So what's happening to your muscles? Wasting. What's happening to your bones? Nothing's pulling on the bones, so the bones are also wasting. And that's called age. The two biomarkers of aging is loss of muscle tissue and loss of strength. When you lose muscle tissue, what happens to your strength? You lose it. Why are men, or why do men have faster metabolisms than women? They've got more muscle. But why have men got more muscle? Yes, they've got testosterone, that special drug. Obviously, God is a man because he gave men the testosterone so that they could build muscle. Yeah, I get that. Exactly. What do we do as women? Can you lift my bag, lift the box, move the rubbish, pick up the kids, open the jar? Don't let that happen because the man's not getting wasted away bones and muscles. What happens to metabolism when your muscles waste away? At 20, because up until the age of 20 we have a certain amount of muscle tissue. That's what we've been given. After the age of 30 we start deteriorating. It's called age. So at 20 I've got a V12 Bentley engine. If I want to drive a V12 Bentley anywhere, how much fuel will it burn? Lots. By the age of 30, because I've lost muscle tissue, because I'm not doing as much as I used to and I'm a little bit less active, I've now got a V8 engine. Burns less fuel than a V12, doesn't it? By the time I'm 40, I've got a V6. By the time I'm 50, I've got a 4-cylinder engine. I've driven, one of my friends has got a Toyota Yaris, and I drove it once from Brisbane to the Gold Coast and back, and the needle didn't move. I said, I think your fuel gauge is broken. Don't burn very much fuel. In our body, fuel is fat. Fuel that sits around us, all our paddy bits, that's women, we have fat here. By the way, no woman's ever died of a fat bum, did you know that? Guys, however, you have a waist measurement more than 100 centimetres, you're now in the top risk category for coronary heart disease. This is dangerous fat. This is not dangerous fat. But this is stored fuel. And by the time if we're not maintaining our muscle tissue, by the time we're 50, that engine is so small that it doesn't matter how many times you run around an aerobic room or how many times you run around the street or how many hours of exercise you do, you're doing it with a 4-cylinder engine. By the time you're 70, you've got a lawnmower. First of all, you drive your lawnmower anywhere, how fast can you go? You can't drive your lawnmower to the Gold Coast. It's not going to get there, and you're not going to burn very much fuel, and that's exactly what's happened to the human race. Somebody said get old, and the muscles that get deteriorated the quickest are the fast-twitch muscle fibres, the one that when you trip over, stop you from falling, which is why old people fall. So we're not going to get old, we're going to get gold, because we're going to keep lifting heavy things. What's the heaviest thing in your life? Your own body. Here's a question, do you have a floor? I know, I've got to go to the gym to lift weights. Here's a floor, yes. Here's my body weight. I can lift my body weight. Now some people say to me, oh, I can't do push-ups. Why can't you do push-ups? Because you don't do them. And some stupid person said to you that you've got to do 30. How many have you got to do? 1. Because if that's all you can do, that's all you can do. I can only do 1. That's fantastic, do 1. And do 1 the next day. And do 1 the next day. And maybe by the next day, guess what might happen? Oh, you do. That's a miracle. I've got twice as strong. And you literally have got twice as strong. And then I'm like, 3. That's now 3 times as strong. Because your muscles have to be overloaded to get stronger. But if you don't do anything, your muscles waste away. If you do something, but you have to lift something that is of weight. Is that exciting? So it goes like this. Get strong. Get strong. That's our song. You've got to sing it. Get strong. Get strong. Get strong. And stay strong. For how long? Now, if you love to lift weights and you like all the machines in the gym, fantastic. But ultimately, you've just got to pick 2-3 exercises that work every single muscle in your body. And by the way, if you haven't been lifting heavy things lately, when you do push-ups on your floor, which everybody has a floor, every muscle in your body will be working, because when you do a push-up properly and you can't do them, guess what happens? Even your face muscles work. And your toe muscles work because you're pushing up off your toes to get up off the floor. Most important though, your abdominal muscles are working, because we spend hours and hours. I've got to do sit-ups and I've got to do core exercises and I've got to do crunches and I've got to... Hang on a minute. First of all, if somebody says to you that you can burn fat off one part of your body, they have just revealed themselves as not understanding anatomy and physiology. To say that you can do, and I'll do this, those of you who've got a fitness background, this is really quite hilarious. See someone doing this in the gym. What would you say?
You're an idiot.
What are you doing? Burning fat off my arm. That's like saying then all women should be thin, because women will use our faces a lot for talking. We should all have thin faces then, shouldn't we? Or people who chew chewing gum should have thin faces, because you're moving your mouth muscles, so you should have thin face. That's ridiculous, isn't it? Imagine this blonde head thing. Imagine if I said, I'm going to take water out of the deep end of my swimming pool, but not out of the shallow end. People would say that's stupid, Australia. See, for women, this is the shallow end, and this is the deep end. When you get fit and when you've got strong muscles, fat is over your entire body, but this is the shallow end. But there's fat cells here. Have you noticed that when you get fat, you can put on weight here and here and here, and when you lose weight, your face gets thinner? Have you noticed that? However, this is the deep end. There's lots more fat there. But when you start burning fat, it comes off from your whole body. Is that not exciting? Say yes, Robbie, that's very exciting. So see, this is what my profession's done. We've made exercise really complicated. You've got to do exercises for your arms, you've got to do exercises for your legs, and then you've got to do, imagine this. You thought that was stupid, didn't you? Have you not done this? Hello? Do you know why people do that? To burn fat off their tummy, yes or no? That is just as stupid as trying to burn fat off your arm. But people spend hours, don't they? Some people do classes for that. Let's come to the abdominals class. Squish the fat, release the fat, squish the fat, release the fat, squish the fat, release the fat. No, fat's burn off from your whole body. You've got fat cells over your whole entire body. When you do huffy puffy exercise, it stimulates the fat cells to open, fat comes out, goes into your bloodstream and burns off. Isn't that exciting? Out of every fat cell in your whole entire body. You know, some fitness people say to you, oh, you can burn fat off your arms. No, you can burn fat off your whole body. Every time you huff and puff, it'll come off everywhere. Have you ever noticed when you lose weight, if you can, shoe size will go down because you've got fat cells on your feet. But you don't do feet exercises. This is how logical this is. Oh, what are you doing? I'm burning fat off my inner thigh. What if you haven't got time to do the other leg? You have one thin leg and one fat leg. Come on. We want to make this simple. Do some huffy puffy exercise, make sure that you keep every muscle in your body strong. But the body's not broken up into muscle groups. Everything is head bones connected to your shoulder bones connected to, yes? Yeah, well, your neck muscles connected to your shoulder muscles connected to your arm muscles connected to your hand muscles. When you do exercise, everything works, but more importantly, your central nervous system works. It fires the whole body. So you've got to do big exercises that fire big exercises that fire big results. If you want little results, do little exercises. If you want to get big results, do big exercises. What muscles am I using now? You know what some people say? No, push-ups are for your chest and your shoulders and your arms. Really? Try doing a push-up without using your abdominals. Try doing a push-up without using your back muscles. Try doing a push-up without using your big back muscles. Try doing a push-up without using your face muscles. Does it make common sense? Everybody stand up, please. Ready? Be happy, be happy, be happy, be happy, be happy. Drink more water till you've got clear wheeze. 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 Eat more fruit and vegetables. 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 And get strong. Get strong. Get strong. Get strong. moved to New Zealand for a reason. Palmerston North, and then there were two. Did I say that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We have a goal to make it the healthiest district, region in New Zealand. Okay. And we can measure it because there are some GPs in Palmerston North, there are some medical professionals, there is a cardiologist, there is a pharmacist who are keen for this to happen. We're meeting tomorrow morning as a mastermind group to work out how we can make this region the fittest in the country. And we can measure it. Because the GP that I spoke to last time I was in Palmerston North said to me, Rowie, we have an order, it's not the word I'm looking for, from the health board, that when people come to a GP, we're really not ignoring everything else, but the two things we have to look at is coronary heart disease and type 2 diabetes, because they're the biggest killers in New Zealand right now. Now there's precursors for both of those, blood sugar levels and cholesterol levels. If we can reduce the blood sugar levels and cholesterol levels of everybody that lives in this region, we make sure that our kids never get those precursors. Do you think the rest of the world might take a look at what's going on in Palmerston North? But this has got to be a community thing. This can't be one group of people getting together and saying, okay, you know, let's get all excited about getting healthy. What if the whole town did? Because it's not a city really, it's a town. What if the town got together? I'm using that for a reason. Because when we start thinking city, and when we start thinking country, it all becomes too hard, doesn't it? It becomes too big. And it's too complicated. We can't, because my goal is to positively change the health and fitness of the... Do you know what people say to me? That's impossible, you can't do that. I shared an impossible story today, and I'm going to finish with that this evening. I was a bit naughty at school. One of my teachers pulled me aside and I want to tell you a story. His name was Mr. Martin. Changed my life that day. He said, Rowie, you like to run? I want to tell you a story about a guy that was a runner. In 1954, there was a gentleman called Roger. And he was told, he just came up with this idea. He said, I'm going to run under a 4-minute mile. Exercise physiologists and professors at the university said to Roger Bannister, you can't run under a 4-minute mile. It's impossible. It's impossible. And Roger said, let's have a go anyway. And those of you who are old enough to remember, in May 1954, Roger Bannister ran under a 4-minute mile. The Australians get all excited about this because 6 weeks later, John Landy ran under a 4-minute mile as well, faster than Roger Bannister. But John Landy didn't do it. He would never have done it if Roger didn't do it. Because Roger made it unimpossible. There's such a word. So when people say to me, Rowie, you can't change the whole health and fitness of the whole world, that's impossible. I've got a swear word. Do you know what I say? Oh, Roger. It's my private little swear word. I've got coony pigs at my house. 3 little pigs, because you always have 3 pigs. Gucci, Prada and Bluey are my pigs. Gucci's last litter, she had 9 babies and 6 of them died. So I had 3 little pigs left, and one of them had no back legs working. My next door neighbour, who is an expert in pigs, I'm not, said to me very blasely, and I'm not sure that's a word either, oh, you'll have to put that pig down, it's going to die. It's got no chance, no hope, it's never going to happen. So you'll have to drown it. No. I've got this pig in my hand, and I'm thinking I've got to do the best thing by this pig, it's never going to survive. So I've got it in the bucket with the water, and I'm holding this little pig, it's looking up at me. I don't know if you've ever seen baby pigs, they're the most gorgeous little creatures on the planet. It's looking up at me, and I said, okay, Roger. And I called him Roger. I said, sweetheart, you're going to live. You're going to walk and you're going to run. We're going to beat the impossible odds. So I put him on his mummy's booby for 3 days. Because he couldn't walk. His back legs were completely splayed out. He couldn't walk. He was trying to drag himself with his 2 front legs. Day 3, Roger stands up. And he walks. And now he lives with a very large Maori family and he runs. 7 children. But they couldn't afford to buy a cat or a dog, but they've now got Roger. But they didn't get Roger until I told them the Roger story. And I'm sharing it with you tonight because I would like to inspire you in some way, shape or form to take on the impossible. Because I believe that if the whole city gets behind this and says, not go to the gym for an hour every day and not eat bean sprouts and carrot sticks for the rest of your life and not lift weights, 27 exercises, 3 sets of 10, simple messages. What if the whole town started singing, be happy, be happy? What if we all had gold star charts? I've had a clear week today. What if the whole town pooed twice every day and slid out easily? What would happen to colon cancer in this area? It would be measurable. Lynn Vautier, who's the pharmacist on board with this, she can measure. She's got 4 pharmacies in your city. She could measure how many coronary heart disease pills, how many type 2 diabetes pills, how many antidepressant pills are being delivered out of her pharmacies today. And if we put this into place, how many in 6 months' time? And if that number's reduced, guess who's going to start looking? The government will start looking because the health costs, now it's at the point where the governments are going, we don't know what we're going to do anymore because the people are just, they're walking around, we're keeping them alive for a very long time with pills, but they're dead really. May as well be dead. That's the reality. What if you decided today as a leader in your community, new mayor of the town, of the city, what if you decided as a human being leader, as a parent, that you are going to be happy, drink more water, you've got Kiwis, eat more fruit and vegetables, get huff and puff for how many minutes? 4. And get stronger. Would you have a better life yourself? Would you be a better parent, a better lover, a better churchgoer, a better sporting player? Everything in your life would be better. But if every single person, individual person took on that, what would happen to the whole town? Somebody would say, just like they did to Roger, oh, it's supposed to be impossible to run under a 4-minute mile. It's supposed to be impossible to get a whole region healthy. For those of you in business, do you think you would attract more people into your town if you were the healthiest district, region in New Zealand? Who would want to move here? Healthy people. It'd be good for business, wouldn't it? Would it be good for our children? Where do you live? I live in Manawatu. We're the healthiest region in New Zealand. And you know why I know this is going to work? Because are there not clean towns? In Australia, you're driving to a town that says we've been awarded the cleanest town in New South Wales for 3 years in a row. Yes? We can pick up rubbish off the ground. How about we pick some rubbish out of our arteries? Let's not be the cleanest town, let's be both. Let's be the healthiest region in New Zealand. I hope you're up for the challenge. Thanks for having me this evening.
Woo! Do you just want to stand up and do a few press ups? Yes. Stand up. Oh, Ro wants to do something. So you've got a little bit of room, so let's just do a little jog on the spot. And then you're just going to pick your knees up. I want to hear you on the ground. We're going to go to the Thank you so much, Rowan. It's amazing. And it is very exciting looking forward to our meeting tomorrow morning with around 16 beautiful and influential people. And we're going to start brainstorming how we are going to make Manawatu, New Zealand's healthiest region. And today we talked about we thought it should be the healthiest region in the world. So that's where we're heading. We've just got some spot prizes we want to give out to you tonight. It's really fun. And one thing I also forgot to do a little bit earlier is I just have a newsletter. Now some of you have heard about this through my newsletter, but some of you aren't on it already. So if you'd like to get recipes and tips and updates from me, then I'll just pass that around. Some of you I think already are. Just pass that through, and if you are not already, then please enter your details there. Now, just to keep you moving as well, I've got a couple of little prizes here from me. Last night some of you were here when we did our book launch, and it really was through everything I've learnt through Rowena and Kerry around keeping things simple and overcoming all those myths around spending hours at the gym and all you need to do is cardio and yes, you need to diet and you need to stop doing this and that. So just from this wee little book, which is the 7 myths to overcome to get in the best shape of your life, and it is available just opposite here at Bruce McKenzie's for $20. But there's 2 of you tonight who are very special because underneath the very front of your seat that you're sitting on, there's a big pink heart. So I just want to invite you all to have a look under your seat, the very front. And if you're next to beside an empty seat, then you can get up and move your body. And have a look at the seat behind that right beside you. Has anyone got a pink heart? There are 2 of them. They're right at the front. Oh, I can see a pink heart. Megan's got one, or Megan's friend. Beautiful. So enjoy that. And I've just got another couple of things. We've got some Rowena who's very kindly going to sneak these out here. She's actually going to be away with a beautiful class piece tonight. Now, I've just looked at my very first book. Rowena was once told that she would never be able to write a book, and she's now written how many? 14? 15? 18? 18, alright, and I have 3 of them here. So, who would like to be happy too? Yeah, you can be happy too. So, I just want to ask some questions, and it's going to be the first person to put their hand up and answer the question for me. So, Rowie shared 5 tips tonight. What was number 1?
Be happy.
Oh, I saw a hand here. A hand. Be happy. Be happy. Be happy. Be happy. Be happy. Yeah? She shared 5 tips tonight. First hand, right up nice and tall. What was number 5? Right down the front here.
Get strong.
Get strong. Get strong. Get strong. So you can how to be happy without the cow too. And this is how to get fat. Now who wants this? So this is how to get fat and how not to without the cow poo, because it's always without the cow poo, which means it's just the straight up truth, yeah? So I would like to give this to someone who can tell me one thing, just one thing, that you're going to go out and change and do differently tomorrow. Just one thing you're going to do differently tomorrow. Shelley?
I'm not going to hit snooze.
Yay! I love that. And just a couple of little things from me. I love the philosophy around move big muscle groups. Don't worry about doing these little fluffy exercises, because we've all had those little exercises where we've done all these ones and these ones and these ones and those ones, and it's just all a bit confusing. So this here is a little program that I've put together that just has 6 exercises. And if you're a bit busy, you can just cut it in half and just do 3, and it's a great full body workout. And it comes together with this workout in a box, which is a resistance band. It's got a life inside. Are you ready? Hey! There we go. And so this here is a little workout in a box because it gives you a nice full body workout. Because you just place it under one foot and it gives you a great workout for your back. You're going to do it with me in your chair. So you're going to reach forward, reach out, and then you're just going to draw back with both hands. So you're going to draw back with both hands. Beautiful. Hands up here to see people that are gold. Okay, they're very gold and they're very much like this. Hands up if you've ever seen people like that. Okay, hands up if you want to be one of those people. No. Okay, so you might want my legs. So again, I'm going to send questions before. I'd love to hear one thing that you would like to go and do differently. Someone that would like to have this and change your life by getting strong. Tell me one thing that you're going to go out this coming week and do differently. Anybody?
I'm just going to join the gym, but I don't think I am.
Welcome to your gym. And I've just got another little something here. It's beautiful, it's metallic, stainless steel, it's going to last forever, and it has the words on it, you are amazing. That's like everything else in life. I think that's what you really need to hear, that you are amazing, and that you totally deserve to be fit and healthy and strong forever and ever and ever, and to influence everyone around you. So this is just so you can remember that you really are amazing and that you deserve to get up and move your body and be happy every day. Now this would relate to one of the tips that Rowie shared tonight. So hands up. Yeah.
Yay!
Sing it for us, listen nice and loud.
Drink more water till you got clear.
Let's all cheer it.
Drink more water till you got clear wheeze. Drink more water till you got clear wheeze.
Beautiful. So we're going to give that to Tracy. Thank you, Tracy. Wonderful. Congratulations.
It's a good idea.
Lovely. All right. So I hope that you go away tonight feeling inspired, and not just inspired, with these things that, as Rosie said, a lot of them are common sense, but that you're going to go and take action. And please, please go out and share this with all of your loved ones, all of your family, everyone around you. And please, please come on board with us around this project that we have to make Manawatu the world's healthiest region. Give me a yes if you're on board.
Yes!
So please do stay, mix and mingle. We've got some tea and coffee if you want to have a wee drink. Please come and have a chat with Rowie and myself if you have any questions. We're sort of passing this little thing. If you really would like to get on the database, I'd love to stay in touch with you all and let you know what's happening and let you know when Rowie's back in town. So make sure you do it before you head away. So thank you all tonight. Give yourselves a huge clap. See that? Can we get this right down, the screen down? Or is that screen's gone for a minute? Oh, look, here we come. So, 7:30, everyone say 7:30? You already knew that because you're already here. Last Wednesday of the month, just like tonight, it's the last Wednesday of the month. So guess what? For the next 3 months, we have something on right here last Wednesday of the month. So we've got the wonderful Lynn Fortier, who is our wonderful community pharmacist and an amazing, inspiring lady. And this other lady, Parsons, who does a couple of things apparently. And
She's the best personal trainer in the world.
these are going to tell you about how to not worry and be happy. And so Lynn is talking very much from the medical side of it, because there are so many of us that have had challenges in that area and that maybe had to place medication for that. And I'm going to talk about the natural side of all those things we can do to choose to be happy and some practical strategies around that. So I really encourage you to tell all your friends and family to come down here. And what are we going to do? We're going to say, don't worry,
Be happy.
yeah. So that is next month, and then the following month I'm going to be talking to you about pelvic floors. Everyone say, oh my God. Whisper it. So no one talks about pelvic floors. We need to talk about this. They're amazing. So we're going to chat about pelvic floors and about how to transform your life to a great So thank you so much. I really do appreciate you taking your precious time to be here. You could have been doing a million and one other things, but you chose to be here tonight. So choose the person beside you, look them in the eye, and say, you are gorgeous.